Come on up, Elise.
Elise Sinagra.
Yeah.
And our old friend.
Yeah, this is Elise Sinagra from the Rosebaker Senior Center. How are you, Elise?
I'm great. It's so great to see you
It's
guys
great
in person.
To see you. I know. It's been
think
a while.
The last time we chatted, it was via Zoom, so it's really nice to see you
Yeah,
in
right.
person.
That's right.
Yeah,
you
you're
were
a
just
regular on
started
Cape Ann today.
at the Elder Services.
Exactly, when
Yeah.
I just started at the Gloucester Council on Aging. Yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
How have you been?
I have been great. How about you, Corey? How about you,
Great.
Heather?
Good. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting ready for the holidays. So what are you doing? What's the group doing how to prepare for I guess the holidays are in the winter season.
Yeah, well, preparing for the holidays, really, with Thanksgiving, of course, being around the corner, kind of mirrors a lot of what Adam had said. We're working very closely with the Legion's effort to get those Thanksgiving dinners, to people in their homes. We're actually collecting that information too, and we collect it and then give it, a bunch of those names of people that want to sign up. We get that over to Attorney Nestor, who kind of leads up that effort for the Legion. And referring people mostly to the Open Door. When people call us who express any kind of food insecurity or any kind of stress at all about obtaining what they want, if they are inclined to want to make a Thanksgiving dinner at home, then we send them to the Open Door and we help them to do whatever they need to do to get signed up for that. Yeah.
Now, is the Rosebaker Center open for activities and things like that?
The Rosebaker Center is open, so just to kind of just to take a little bit of step back, the Rosebaker Senior Center is part of the Gloucester Council on Aging, and the Gloucester Council on Aging's mission is to identify and address the needs of Gloucester's older residents. We do that by providing an array of, educational, health, and recreational opportunities, and we provide those primarily at the Rosebaker Senior Center, which is kind of our flagship way of providing those things. We are also trying to make more of an outward-facing effort looking forward, and the pandemic forced that to some degree because we were closed for about almost a year and a half. Which was very difficult and made less difficult by having great partners like the Open Door.
Right. And that isolation must have been really hard for you.
The social isolation has been so hard for the seniors, so hard. So, but we are open now, and we're definitely providing all of those things, those health, recreational, and education opportunities. And our collaboration with the Open Door hits on all three of those. We're having, the mobile market is happening over at the Senior Center right now.
Oh, wow.
They come once a month.
The farmer's truck that we're talking about.
We haven't seen the new farmer's truck yet.
Okay.
We're still doing the mobile market at the Senior Center kind of through an existing model that's been in place for a while.
Okay.
But I think we had about 80 seniors signed up this morning to come through, and we have a system in place so that they can come in at a specified time window and they don't have to wait too long. But the Open Door brings the most beautiful array of food over there. Like, it's just amazing. One of my staff members who's not from Gloucester, who's from somewhere else over the bridge, she's just constantly amazed because her community doesn't seem to have, I think, something that is just quite that impressive because the food is beautiful and the seniors really need it. And because of the population we serve, and I think that there is still, unfortunately, a little bit of a social stigma associated with asking for help. So for older folks, that older population, it can be a little bit more so because they maybe come from an era where that stigma was a little bit more magnified. So some of the seniors in the community, they might not come to the Open Door. They might be hard for them to get past that.
Right.
But boy, they'll come down to the Senior Center and see their friends and, get the mobile market. For years it was called the Mobile Market Brown Bag Program. So you might still hear it referred to that way. But that, provides healthy nutritious food. The Open Door comes down and does demonstrations sometimes, cooking and, how to cook nutritious food with some of the stuff that you can get from the Open Door. So they hit the educational aspect. And then the recreational part, a lot of times the seniors, especially coming out of the pandemic, and because we were closed for so long and they were so isolated, one of the most important things that we do is that we have a Thursday luncheon. We call that Rosie's Picnic Lunch, after, of course, Rosebaker. And the Open Door sends over these beautiful brown bag lunches. It's completely free. Seniors just need to call and sign up. And it's a beautiful brown bag lunch with a sandwich, a bag of chips, some kind of side that you'd want with a sandwich, like a potato salad or coleslaw, some kind of fruit, a dessert. And they also bring over these, containers of freshly made soup that are just amazing. They always send over plenty, so if folks haven't signed up, we kind of pad the count a little bit. We tell them how many signups we have, but they send over plenty, so we've never had to turn anyone that might be there and say, oh, wow, I could use a sandwich. We don't turn them away. And I think one of the funniest things that happens is sometimes we'll offer to somebody and they'll say maybe no thanks, but then they smell that soup. and I'll turn around. I know I just got a no thanks from that
Yeah.
person, but I see them a minute later eating
Yeah.
the soup. So,
Yeah.
but the socialization that provides, just seeing the seniors,
Oh.
so that really is, that hits the recreational part of those three things I mentioned. Because just sitting and being able to just shoot the breeze over a meal, and they miss that so much. When we were closed, and I first came on board in the middle of the closure, one of the first things we did was institute some small group luncheons that we held over at Stage Fort Park. And I was with all the protocols in place. It could only be 15 people masked, everything. But even just that, because they had missed each other so much. I mean, people were crying, seeing each other, and that was, who provided the food for that.
The Open
The
Door.
Open Door, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, our collaboration with the Open Door has just been amazing in a million ways. Yeah.
So Heather, did Elise spark you there? Since she mentioned Rose Baker.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, we have this question right here. Actually, it's my question.
Yes.
Right? Who was Rose Baker?
Rose Baker was an incredibly fierce advocate for seniors. My experience with Rose Baker, kind of personally, is I didn't take the normal route to college. I kind of got out of high school and I worked as a secretary for the Cape Ann Chamber of Commerce for like 3 years, back when they still called us secretaries. And Rose used to come in sometimes, and boy, if there was something that she felt like, some way that the seniors weren't being served by the business community, and she saw that, rightfully so, as something that maybe should be taken up with the Chamber of Commerce, she would come in and just
I love that.
look out. I was like 18, 19 at the time, and I was just like, wow, this lady is
Yeah.
a fierce advocate for senior citizens in the community, and she made things happen.
So what would the business community not be doing? What were they? What was she accusing them of?
I don't know. That was a long time ago. So that was when I was 18, Heather, which is a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that the impression that was left with me was just like, wow, Gloucester seniors are in good hands because this woman is really fighting for them. So it's absolutely appropriate that the Rose Baker Senior Center is named as it is.
That's
So,
great.
yeah.
And do you know what drove her? Did she have a wonderful grandmother? Did she have a wonderful
I
mother?
didn't.
We're not sure.
I
right?
didn't have the opportunity to really get to know her that well to kind of see what it was that spurred that. But the sense I got was it was spurred maybe a little bit, at least a little bit, by just being pretty feisty,
Yeah.
which I love. I love just feisty
Right,
people. I
right.
think it's
Potential
awesome.
timeline right there.
Yeah, oh,
So-
there you go. You got to work on that.
Yeah. So Elise, I want to know, why do you love your job so much? We've been talking to you over the years, and you're
Yeah.
always so enthusiastic,
Yes.
and you're a walking encyclopedia too, which is great as well.
I don't know about the walking encyclopedia. There's some interesting stuff in that encyclopedia, but well, I love my community, So and I have worked with different organizations in the community, and I love the community. So when you're working to serve, I mean, and again, I think Adam touched on that. When you, especially when it comes around Thanksgiving time, to think about the fact that like I thought about it as I drove over here. How lucky am I to live here, to do what I do for a living, to be able to talk to folks like you, to collaborate with these great organizations. And I think especially during the closure, and still to be able to have that feeling of being useful in a time of crisis, it just feels deeply gratifying. And then there's the fact that I just get to walk through the senior center now that we are open. I get to see these, funny people. The senior, a lot of them are really cards, like they let me know if they're not happy with something, and it's always in a pretty, it's a pretty funny way.
We
And
hope they're watching.
yeah, we absolutely hope that they're watching. But it's great, and it's great to be able to satisfy that need. I mean, I've been brought to tears a few times, and I love the fact that at the senior center, and just what the Council on Aging addresses in general, senior center, and then maybe with some not senior center programs, is that we provide all those things that I mentioned. Recreational, educational, educational, recreational, and health opportunities, which also includes exercise instruction. So I get to hear music. We have line dancing going on. We've got bingo. But then we also have a great social work staff as well. I've got an outreach social worker and a social work, an outreach coordinator, and they're both trained social workers. And boy, for the stuff that come in and need to meet with them for some of those, if you know Maslow's hierarchy, right? Your needs, those very basic needs that they come up and they disclose. And right now, we hear from folks who are struggling with some depression and anxiety. They're having a hard time emerging from being inside because of COVID. And to be able to do that stuff that's really at that very important social services end of the spectrum. And also, and do that and do something really, talk to somebody about something literally as serious as cancer. I mean, we're talking to folks about really serious matters. We're helping hook them up with Shine Counseling right now, which is happening because of open enrollment for Medicare. They're getting to make good choices about, what kind of insurance plan to sign up for. That's incredibly critical. And then to do all that, and then I can wander down the hallway and go see the art program participants and what kind of art they're creating. We just had our kiln inspected so we can be firing pottery again. The seniors love making the bowls that they then contribute to the empty bowl supper. They feel so good about that. So then I can wander downstairs and talk to the knitters and crocheters, or maybe chit chat with the memoir writers group. And it's just so fun. And of course, bingo is always a hoot too. And looking forward at the new ways that we can expand our services is really exciting. I work with a great Council on Aging Board of Directors, headed by Fred Cowan, who Susan mentioned.
Yes.
And we also work with a great Friends organization. The Friends of the Gloucester Council on Aging is our support organization, and they were instrumental in that building, the senior center coming to be. And they continue to be instrumental in us being able to offer programs and keeping that building, improvements to the building. The new paint, I don't know if you guys remember, like last summer, when it went from the old paint color scheme to the new paint color, which I absolutely love. That was enabled by the Friends. It was a partnership by the Friends and by Gloucester's DPW, who came over and helped with that too. So just a lot of great partnerships. I get to work with a lot of really great people.
That's great to hear. Yeah, and
It's
the
like
senior
the heart
center
of Gloucester.
really
Yes.
is.
It really is.
Yeah, it's one of
Yes.
the jewels of the area.
Yeah, and Gloucester is the heart of my heart. I mean, I really do. I love this community. We're so blessed around here. We truly are.
True.
Elise, if folks want to learn more about the senior center, how can they go about doing that?
They can go about doing that best. We have a web page within the city's structure. So they could look on the Gloucester Council on Aging, but we're revamping that. It's not fantastic right now. So one of the best things they can do, our main kind of flagship communications vehicle, is our monthly newsletter. We send out a monthly hard copy newsletter to about 1,000 households, and that lets people know exactly what's going on at the senior center, down to the level of menus that are being served for food and every kind of exercise opportunity they can sign up for. So just give us a call at 978-325-5800 and just follow the prompts to get through to somebody and say, hey, I'd like to start getting that newsletter in the mail. We also send out an emailed version of the newsletter for our seniors who are tech savvy enough to be able to utilize email. And we've got about 1,600 email addresses on that. We get a pretty good open rate. We send those out with more information. So those are the two things. Give us a call and ask to get on those. And, and I think, I can't remember, like the nice lady from Element Care, whose name is escaping me.
Diane Wood.
There you go, thank you. Come in. If you've never come to the senior center before, and more seniors in the community haven't ever come to the senior center than have. I remember my mom always saying, I'd say, why don't you go down to the senior center? That looks fun. She'd say, why do I want to go there? It's all old people. She was 86. I don't want to break it to you, Mom. But, so if you think it's just some boring place that just offers bingo, it is not. We have a geology class being offered in December. We've got all kinds of programs down there. And if you've never come before, walk in and say, hey, is Elise the director around? Because I would love to show people around and welcome them there myself, especially if it is a newcomer. Because we do have our regulars, so sometimes to come in and see people who clearly all know each other, that can be a little bit intimidating. But it's a welcoming bunch. The staff's all very welcoming, and the seniors who are kind of the regulars, they're a welcoming bunch too. So yeah, just come on down.
They probably all went to elementary school together. A lot of them, right?
Some of them. The connections are just incredible. You always do the Gloucester thing, and like, who do you know, who you're related to?
Right.
Da, da, da.
2 degrees of separation.
Oh my God, yeah, it's incredible. But just come on down. We are at 6 Manuel F. Lewis Street, in case people don't know where we are, which is right by the Walgreens and the Dunkin' Donuts Plaza. And we're pretty easy to find. The big, really pretty blue, kind of Tiffany blue colored building. Yeah.
It's beautifully put, Elise. Thank you for your time and your service as always. It's great
Thank
seeing you again.
Great seeing both of you.
And
Happy
coming back.
Thanksgiving.
Same
Yes,
to you.
yes. I look forward to the next time I see you. Yeah, and again, happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks,
Thank
Elise.
you.
Take
Same
care.
to you.